Robert De Niro is turning 81 years old this week. We are 3 weekends away from the start of the NFL season. Dun, 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 dun. I cannot wait. Dun, 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 dun. I am pumped. I know everybody else is. Fantasy football, NFL football, flag football. Anyway, I hope everybody's feeling good. Hope everybody's feeling safe. Hope everybody is feeling really sane as we come to the end of the summer. A couple of weeks left. It's not the end. If there's 3 weeks left in summer, it ain't the end. It's a long time. I'm looking forward to Jumbo Josh Allen. Got his hair grown out. I think he's got like a actress or pop singer girlfriend. I can't wait for NFL. I can't wait to be performing in Buffalo. And as I said at the beginning of the episode, Robert De Niro, the great Robert De Niro turned 81 years old the other day. 81 years young. Robert De Niro. Of course, we are celebrating our 10-year anniversary. One of the things that put us on the map was the Robert De Niro Line of the Week, the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast award-winning segment. It's an award-winning segment. The Robert De Niro Line of the Week. We had the award-winning Raging Bull episode, which was a great episode. If you haven't listened to the award-winning Raging Bull episode, I interviewed Martin Scorsese, the late, great Jake LaMotta, who, of course, Raging Bull was inspired by. Wasn't a literal depiction of his life, but it was inspired by, heavily, by his book and, of course, his life. We had on Max Kellerman. We had on John Turturro. We had on Nick Turturro. We had Martin Scorsese. What more do I need to tell you? We had Martin Scorsese talking about Raging Bull. We'll put it in the show notes. One of my favorite movies of all time, and certainly one of my favorite Robert De Niro performances of all time. Game-changing film across the board, cinematically, editing-wise, the acting. Everything about that movie is like the dunk. It's like before Raging Bull and after Raging Bull. Robert De Niro took method acting to a new level. He actually gained the weight. He actually became Jake LaMotta, the fighting middleweight champion version, and then the overweight, out of shape, beaten down version. What a movie. What an actor. Robert De Niro is a monumental artist. Beyond an actor, he's like a painter, a sculptor, like an architect. So happy 81st birthday to Robert De Niro. And since it's Robert De Niro's 81st birthday, I'm not going to do my top 5 Robert De Niro films of all time. I'm sure I've done that. I'm going to do my top 5 Robert De Niro supporting parts of all time. I'm going to start with, in no particular order, Mean Streets. Robert De Niro did not star in Mean Streets. He co-starred in Mean Streets. He brought the bada bing. Without Robert De Niro bringing that bada bing, that to the screen in Mean Streets. Robert De Niro in Mean Streets is so electrifying, so unique, so charismatic, so explosive. Literally, you're like, that's a movie star. Who is that? What is he doing? How is he doing it? And this is at a time when acting still wasn't in the ultra-realistic style that it is now. You could watch Mean Streets over and over and over and watch some of the other actors while they're on camera with Robert De Niro or off camera during a scene with Robert De Niro. And I swear sometimes they're looking at him like, what is this guy doing? What is he doing? Because he's going at a different speed. It would literally be like taking Allen Iverson and putting him in the NBA in 1969. That's what it was like. He was going at a different speed. Robert De Niro in Mean Streets. That's number 1 of my Robert De Niro supporting roles of all time. Number 2, I go with Jackie Brown. Understated, barely said anything the whole movie, barely moved the whole movie. Obviously, Jackie Brown's such a good movie. Samuel Jackson's my favorite Samuel Jackson movie. I think that across the board, Jackie Brown is my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie, but that changes, ebbs and flows. But Bobby D, Robert De Niro in Jackie Brown is just funny. He's doing bong rips. He's having sex on camera, which was just so weird to see Robert De Niro like have sex with Bridget Fonda quickly. He's funny, he's scary, he barely speaks, and he's totally captivating. In a great, great, great understated, underrated performance, I will go with my third favorite Robert De Niro supporting role, Silver Linings Playbook, one of my favorite films. I love that film. Jennifer Lawrence, Bradley Cooper. It's so heartfelt. It's a weird, quirky, romantic comedy, Silver Linings Playbook, and Robert De Niro plays Bradley Cooper's father, and he's so vulnerable, and he's so sensitive, and so confused, and so earnest in that role, and I think it's the first time he showed that kind of older man vulnerability in a film. He's done it since, but Robert De Niro in Silver Linings Playbook, I think he won the Oscar or got nominated for that. Love that movie. I watch that movie at least once a year. The cinematography in that film, all the acting across the board is just excellent. I love Silver Linings Playbook, and of course, the kookiness of the Philadelphia Eagle fan base. Silver Linings Playbook. My top 4 Robert De Niro supporting roles of all time. Deer Hunter. I got to go with the Deer Hunter. He didn't star in that film either. That was definitely an ensemble cast, a lot of shared screen time. I mean, maybe they say he starred in it. I think that's a across the board ensemble cast. It definitely wasn't just Robert De Niro. Of course, Meryl Streep, John Savage, the incredible Christopher Walken. What a movie. John Cazale. And Robert De Niro is, again, understated, totally unique, fierce, scary, everything. He's everything in that film. And of course, the scene where they're playing Russian roulette, he just brings a tenacity to that scene and a reality to that scene. And it's just so good across the board. Robert De Niro in The Deer Hunter, another film that is not easy to watch. This is not a fun, easy film to watch, but captivating across the board, game-changing across the board, and so many good actors, and they were so young. Man, they were all so young and just unique looking. And Robert De Niro was at full-blown method, all in, just taking everything to the next level. And my top 5 Robert De Niro supporting roles of all time. This is tough. Untouchables, he's sick in. Al Capone, he's so good in that with Kevin Costner, a young Andy Garcia, of course, Sean Connery. Untouchables. I got to go with The Bronx Tale. A Bronx Tale, Robert De Niro directed it. Chaz Palminteri, Lilo Brancato. Robert De Niro plays the father of the Chaz Palminteri play. It was based on a one-man play, A Bronx Tale by Chaz Palminteri, and Robert De Niro's, again, awesome in that. Old school Italian bus driving father from the Boogie Down Bronx, and iconic film with iconic lines, iconic scenes, so many quotable lines and scenes in that film. So I have to go with A Bronx Tale over Untouchables, but you could go on and on. So happy 81st birthday to the great, great, inspiring, awe-inspiring Bobby D, 81 years young.